The V-Coptr Falcon by Zero Zero Robotics. Are you gonna pre-order? Stay tuned and find out what I did. Okay guys, so let's take a little closer look at this thing. The world's first V-shaped bicopter. Now it is rather unique in the fact that it only has 2 rotors as compared to the traditional 4 rotors that you see in all your other drones today. And those rotors are mechanical. They will pivot forward and back. That is awesome. So let's take a look at the specs. Okay, so let's take a look at the aircraft itself. Now the folded dimensions are 220.6 by 148.26 by 72.38 millimeter. That's length, width, and height. Now, converting that to inches, you will get 8.6 by 5.8 by 2.8. So that's length, width, and height. It weighs 730 grams. The max hovering time is up to 50 minutes. Now keep that in mind, how it's listed there, hovering time. The max wind scale resistance is a grade 5. Which equivalates to 19 to 24 miles per hour. Operating temperature 0 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. That's 32 degrees Fahrenheit to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. The frequency it operates on is 2.4 gigahertz. It has built-in GPS and GLONASS. And here's something cool, like the Mavic 2 Pro, it has 8 gigs of internal storage, and it can take an external micro SD card up to 256 gig. So that's pretty cool. The gimbal, 3-axis gimbal, it's a mechanical gimbal. The user control range, its pitch, is minus 90 degrees to 0 degrees. Only thing they have listed for obstacle avoidance here is its max obstacle avoidance speed, which is 7 meters a second, which equivalates to about 15.6 miles per hour. The camera, so it has your standard 1/2 CMOS sensor. Effective pixels are 12 megapixel. And I've read somewhere, it might be in its other like regular general description, that it's the CMOS is a Sony sensor. The lens, the field of view is about about 77 degrees, plus or minus 3 degrees. That looks like that's what they're saying. Equivalent focal length is 28 millimeters at f2.2. Now that field of view is a little narrower than we're used to seeing on some of our other drones. I think I'd have to look, but for some reason I think the Mavic 2 Pro is like 83 or 89 or 93. I can't remember, something like that. Anyway, ISO for video is 100 to 6400, and it's the same for photo, 100 to 6400 ISO. Maximum image size 12 megapixel. Some still photography modes, single shot burst shooting and self timer shooting. Video resolution 4K at 30 frames per second, 2K at 30 and 60 frames per second, 1080p or full HD at 30, 60 and 120 frames per second, and 720p at 30, 60 and 120 frames per second. The formats it shoots in are JPEG, RAW, and RAW plus JPEG, and the format is MP4. Max control distance for the blast-off controller, 7,000 meters, which is roughly 4.3 miles. It says battery time 2.5 hours, but I'm guessing that means it takes 2.5 hours to charge the battery, maybe? I don't know. The battery itself is a 4,500 milliamp hour battery, 15.4 volts. It weighs 329 grams, and the same operating temperature, 0 to 40 degrees Celsius, or 32 degrees to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Charger, standard charger, 17.6 volts, 3 amp, 5 volts, 2 amp, 56 watts. That's kind of standard there. So those are the specs that are. So I had some questions, and I reached out to Zero Zero Robotics for some answers, and here are the responses that I've gotten to date. So the first question I asked is probably the same as most people had, and that is the $100 deposit refundable? And they said, yes it is. 2, how does the controller connect to your smartphone? What, cable, Wi-Fi? And they said it connects via cable. 3, if the drone's gimbal is 0 to 90 degrees, when the drone is flying forward, will the camera be level with the horizon, or will it be pointed straight with the nose of the drone, which will be angled downward? And they said, we will pass this information to our engineers to receive an accurate answer. 4th question, what is the max flight speed? They could give me an estimate of 20 meters per second, which is around 44 miles per hour. 5th question, does the app display telemetry on the drone's position? How high, how fast, how far, etc. We will pass this information to our engineers to receive an accurate answer. Okay guys, so not all the questions got answered, but I'm hopeful that they will. In the meantime, have you guys looked at some of the pictures of this thing? This thing is crazy looking. Check out this picture here. When you look at this straight on, it looks like some kind of pterodactyl or something. I mean, it is so cool. The arms are huge. The props are ginormous. And I'm curious to see, though, how well it hovers in one place without moving back and forth. That we'll have to wait and see. But this is going to be so cool to fly. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm in the hobby because I love flying the drones, and I love the tech that goes in them. I love how how these companies come up with different ways to do things. Even down to like chargers, how they make foldable chargers that fold out and batteries fit in here and that, and the way the arms fold down and these rotors are mechanical, they're moving, you know, back and forth. That is so awesome. Now, you're going to get some skeptics that say, hey, you got them gears in there, they're going to wear out, blah, 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 blah. That's part of it, man. That's all part of change and coming up with something new. And I tell you, these guys, if this pans out, this is changing the game, because there ain't nobody out there that I know of, maybe I'm wrong, you guys let me know, that have a V-Copter like this. This is gonna be so awesome. Now, don't get me wrong, I love good video. I love being able to take crisp, clear, and awesome video, but that's not what it's all about. You know, that's part of it. And you know, these you know, the specs on this camera, kind of, you know, they go back to sort of like the original Mavic, but you know, again, that's just part of what's going on here. For me, it's about the change and flying something different, flying something with 2 blades rather than 4, and the size of it. I mean, this is gonna be really cool. So yeah, I am up for this thing for sure. And come on, 50-minute flight time. There isn't a company anywhere out there that advertises anything even close to that. Now, we know you're not going to get 50 minutes flight time, and even in their spec description it says 50-minute hover time. So take the drone off and hover for 50 minutes. Oh yeah. But you know, we see this, we're used to this, we see this all the time. But think about it. Even if you take 10 minutes off of that because you're flying around, 40-minute flight time, maybe 43. Oh man, that's gonna be awesome, man. You'd be out there, you're almost flying for an hour. Can you imagine, you know, what you could do if you get that amount of flight time up there on one battery? Pretty awesome stuff. Anyway, I don't know, guys. What do you think? You think this is something that's a game changer? You think this is something really cool? Would you like to fly one of these things? And did you order? Did anybody out there pre-order one of these things? Because I know I did. So leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts on this thing here. I'm just super psyched because this, you know, you don't see anything out there like this. This is something that we haven't seen before. And again, I'm not all that, you know, stoked about the camera and stuff like that, but this is, you know, this is something new, man. This is cool. Anyway, if you like what you see here and you like the things I'm talking about, let me know by hitting that like button down below and subscribe to my channel. As always, thanks for watching. Later.